There are over 160 craftable weapons in Destiny 2. Some are really good, some are really bad. So in this video, I'm going to go over the 10 best craftable weapons in the final shape. I'm Marshix, and coming in at number 10 is Wastelander. This is a very solid shotgun for 1-2 punch builds. Shoot the shotgun, get a melee buff. It's also kinetic, so it deals a little more damage than elemental shotguns. It's a lightweight frame, which means you will run faster with this in your hand. And it gets lead from gold to help ensure you always have ammo. There are a bunch of other 1-2 punch shotguns out there, but very few get lead from gold. And of those few, Wastelander is the only one that is craftable for enhanced perks. This is also very easy to get because it drops from Dares of Eternity and the box in Xur's Treasure Hoard. So it's free to all players and you don't need a dedicated team to farm it. The only reason why you might not want this is if you can get your hands on a perfect paradox with 1-2 punch. This is not craftable, so it's a little bit harder to get, but it does get enhanced perks, and it has the Cast No Shadows origin trait, which will partially refill the magazine after every punch. So in 1-2 punch builds, you never have to reload this thing. Ever. But if you don't want to farm random rolls of that, Wastelander is an excellent replacement. Some exotics can also be crafted, and Whisper of the Worm is one of those weapons. This is a heavy ammo sniper rifle that theoretically never has to reload. Landing 3 precision shots will refill the magazine from reserves, and it will give you 1 ammo out of thin air. So it's basically like triple tap, but way better. It also has a catalyst that gives it whispered breathing. If you aim down sights for a couple seconds before firing, it will get a damage buff, and this will last for as long as you stay scoped in. And because it reloads itself if you hit 3 shots, you can keep this buff for a long time. In order to get this exotic, you'll need to do the Whisper mission, and once you're inside, you can find secrets that will give you upgrades for the crafted Whisper. The upgrade I use is Field Prep to give you more ammo in reserves, which means more total damage. And if you miss a shot and you have to reload, it will increase your reload speed while crouched, allowing you to get back in the fight a little bit faster. And I haven't even mentioned the current artifact, which increases the damage of sniper rifles and solar weapons. And this just so happens to be a solar sniper rifle in the heavy slot, so it gets the most benefit. Against bosses with big crits, this is very easy to use and can put out some really high total damage. In short damage phases, you're better off using something else, but in long damage phases, this is top tier. It's not a secret that rocket sidearms are really strong right now, and one of the best ones is craftable. The Call is a strand rocket sidearm that comes from the Pale Heart. In fact, you're given it for free during the second or third mission in the final shape. But that won't last for long because you will definitely want to craft it as soon as possible because it gets a variety of great perks. Pretty much anything you could ask for. Lead from gold to avoid ammo problems, demolitionist because who doesn't love grenades, subsistence to never reload, beacon rounds for people who can't aim, or strategist for people like me who like to phoenix dive to spawn a bunch of threadlings that play the game for me. And that's just the first column. It also gets Vorpal Weapon, Hatchling, Adrenaline Junkie, Desperate Measures, One for All, and more. So no matter what build you're running, you can craft a version of this that will work with it. And all of these perks can be enhanced too. It also has the Dealer's Choice origin trait, so every kill will give you a little more super energy, as if this wasn't already powerful. Now, the Call isn't the only rocket sidearm that can be crafted, because Aberrant Action exists, and it's just as good, if not better. This is a solar sidearm, so you can actually run this with the Call, and it gets access to all the good solar perks, most notably Incandescent. Kills with Incandescent will spread Scorch to everything nearby, making them take damage over time, and if you get rapid kills, they will ignite into a massive explosion. The other solar perk is Heal Clip, so you can heal yourself and your allies each time you kill and then reload. And this will activate things like Ember of Benevolence to get faster ability regen too. So this is amazing for most solar builds. Heal Clip Incandescent is the roll to get, as you can see by 50% of players using it. But it does get other perks like Demolitionist, Golden Tricorn, Swashbuckler, and a bunch of other stuff. But let's be honest, you'll want the solar combo. And this is really easy to get too. Just complete the episode Echo's seasonal storyline up until Act 2. You will be given an upgrade at Failsafe that allows you to focus for Aberrant Action. And the first one you get every week is guaranteed to be a red porter. So you can dump a bunch of resources and hope to get lucky, or just click one button every week for 5 weeks. Or you could also play the game. That does give you stuff too. And while we're on the topic of good solar weapons, we can't forget Zaouli's Bane. This is Sunshot if Sunshot was a craftable legendary weapon. This is a 140 hand cannon, which for some people is all they have to hear. This gets Incandescent for Scorch effects, as well as explosive payload for a slight damage buff. I told you it's just like Sunshot. None of the other perks really matter because I know you aren't planning on using them anyway, but it does get an origin trait that is actually pretty good. This will overfill your magazine if you reload near teammates. So in activities where you have to carry people on your back, they'll at least provide some value. Zauli's Bane comes from the King's Fall raid, and normally this is where I would plug my solo raid loot video, but this raid doesn't actually have any solo chests, unless you already have a checkpoint. But if you can find people to run King's Fall in 2024, you can get guaranteed red borders once per week. And if you don't want to do raids, Callus Mini Tool, the BXR Battle Rifle, and Amit are still top tier options that have incandescent. The best rocket launcher in Destiny 2 is still Apex Predator. This is a craftable solar rocket that doesn't have to reload, and it can put out some really high damage numbers. This gets reconstruction, so it will reload itself over time up to double capacity, so 2 rockets. And it gets bait and switch, one of the highest damage buffs in the game, and it only requires you to deal damage with all 3 of your weapons. So you can activate bait and switch going into a fight, then dump 2 rockets, then continue spamming rockets. Or you can dump your first 2 rockets, swap to another weapon while your rocket reloads itself, then swap back and dump more rockets. This comes from the Last Wish raid, and this is where I'm going to plug that video. So you can get this even as a solo player. But don't leave just yet, because there are more solo raid weapons on this list that you'll definitely want to keep an eye out for. Like Non-Denouement, the only bow to get Volt Shot. You know how Zauli's Bane was a legendary Sunshot? Well, this is a legendary Trinity Ghoul. Every kill with Volt Shot will apply Jolt to the next enemy you hit. Jolt will create chain lightning between everything around it, and it will also stun Overload champions. So you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Those are some weird looking birds. Volt Shot is the main thing that sets this apart from other bows, but it does also get Dragonfly for even more destruction with every shot. Now, every precision kill will create an explosion, and then the follow-up shot creates chain lightning and probably another explosion. So without a doubt, this is the best bow for ad clear. I mean the best legendary bow. This is the most popular machine gun, and before today, I didn't even bother trying it. But I noticed how so many people use this, so I gave it a try. Pro Memoria is the new Pale Heart Strand machine gun that gets reconstruction to automatically reload the magazine up to double capacity. So this holds a lot of ammo. Then you can pair this with a damage perk like Bait and Switch or Target Lock. Both of these provide a lot more damage for very little effort. And with the double magazine size, you can take full advantage of both of these perks. It also gets utility perks like Hatchling, Demolitionist, Strategist, and Attrition Orbs. So if you're willing to sacrifice reconstruction, you can double down on your favorite build. After crafting this and using it for a while, it's really good. About on the same level as Commemoration. And it's way easier to get since you can just run around in circles for a couple hours and eventually get it. We recently got a new craftable weapon and it beats everything on this list so far. At least for now. Choir of One is the new special ammo exotic auto rifle. Aiming down sights makes this a normal auto rifle that deals a lot more damage than a normal auto rifle. But if you hip fire this, it will consume 5 ammo per shot and shoot just like the void attacks from a wyvern. This mode will deal a lot of damage, easily melting champions and even bosses. Just look at this clip. I was using this inside of a Well of Radiance and my friend was using Divinity. That's just insane. And I've seen so many clips of people melting raid bosses with a full team of these. It's kinda dumb, which is why it's getting nerfed. Yes, Bungie did confirm they're nerfing this, but that won't be happening until episode 2, which is still over a month away. So go out there and get this and enjoy it while it's still usable. This comes from the new Encore mission in the Helm. Complete it once and it's guaranteed to drop. Then if you find all the secrets inside the mission, you can get its catalysts, which will give you subsistence, destabilizing rounds, or onslaught. They are time gated though, so screw you. But that's not the best craftable weapon, because Outbreak Perfected is so good. Precision kills or consistent damage on one target will spawn nanites that hunt down enemies and stick to them. The more nanites on a target, the more damage you deal with Outbreak. Now, Outbreak has always been good, but recently it became craftable, which means you can get new perks, and one of those new perks is Rewind Rounds. This will partially reload your weapon whenever you run out of ammo, based on the amount of hits you get. And this can proc multiple times per magazine, so this turns Outbreak's mag size from 44 shots to around 80 shots. A significant increase, especially when you're trying to stack as many nanites as possible. And if you have teammates using the same weapon, you can shred through most things. This is a Grandmaster Nightfall, and these champions don't stand a chance. Not to mention, this is a kinetic weapon, so this will quickly fill up both sides of Transcendence if you're running Prismatic. So even though this weapon doesn't have anything to do with ability spam, it does give you Transcendence, which gives you ability spam. This comes from the 0-hour exotic mission, and out of everything on this list, Outbreak is definitely the weapon you need the most. Now, if you want any of the raid weapons on this list, except Zawali's Bane, as a solo player, click on this video for up to 33 raid chests every week, completely solo. Thanks for watching, I'm Marshix, and I'll see you next time.